Weekly Piano here, back by popular demand with a video explaining a little bit more specifics on what I did in the Herbie Hancock solo technique video. This is a request from Robert. Thank you, Robert. Anyway, the main thing that I explained in the Herbie soloing video was his use of this one specific gorgeous color that I call the minor-major scale, which differs from the melodic minor scale in that it's 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, major 6, major 7, 1, and then that's the, if it were going back down minor, it would be the melodic minor, but going back down, it actually stays major 7, major 6, 5, 4, flat 3, 2, 1. So there's no real traditional name for that scale, but I call it the minor-major scale. And there are some specific things that I did in that video to be musical using that scale. One is the use of it leading from one chord to another chord, and usually it would lead to the chord a fifth down from the chord that you're on. So let's say we're in C minor, and I was doing footprints before, so we're jamming on C minor, but then we want to get to the F. How do we get to the F? We use I would use this voicing to get to F. Now, the question is, what voicing was that, and how did I implement that to lead down to the F? So the way that I did that was I picked C, which we were on before, and I made that into the dominant chord. So instead of C minor now, it's C dominant 7. Okay? But instead of just doing C dominant 7, I used the minor-major scale superimposed a half step above that. So this is C, and now we start a half step above C. So that's your root now, and you go, so now it's the C sharp minor-major scale, which you'll have to know basics of scales and chords and things to really understand this video. I really hope you do, but feel free to ask questions about the specifics of this if you want. Anyway, so we start with C sharp, or let's just say D flat to differentiate. So D flat, minor major scale, 1, 2, 3, that's the flat 3, 4, 5, major 6, major 7, 1. Right? It sounds pretty dissonant, but when you put it in context, it sounds, well, I'll show you real quick. That's me putting it in context by using that scale as the basis for my voicing, which now turns this into a really, a very augmented, like, very weird sounding C chord that then leads to the F. Now I'm going to show you my specific comping that I use, which is something I've seen Herbie use, along with a bunch of different pianists. It's a very common comping. So if you have your C as your root, we're going to use that major-minor scale, but put these specific notes of the major-minor scale on top of there. This is your left hand, okay? Which is, let's take a step back and talk about this in terms of what it is in relation to a C. So there's your C. And then you have the 3, the sharp 5, the dominant 7, and the sharp 9. Right? Which that sound leads to F minor, because it makes C a very dominant chord. Now, because those are all very important leading tones to the F minor, they also fit within that major-minor scale that I showed you. Because basically what the major-minor scale, a half step above the dominant, does is it just gives you all of the really beautiful notes that push to that next chord a fifth down. Okay, so check that out. You've got your, if you're talking major minor, based on the C sharp, it's the 3, 5, 6, 2, if that makes any sense. Now you only want to think of it that way really if you're soloing over it, so let's just think of it in terms of C, so it's the 3, sharp 5, 7, sharp 9. Make sure you can play that, and then to lead to the F, I would usually go, if you're just doing it with both hands like this, I would play that, and then take that sharp 9 and make it into a flat 9. So it leads, so that voice leads to be the 5 of the F chord. Sorry if I'm going too fast right now. Let me know if you need any of this explained. So, watch. That's out of context, but it still sounds really good. Now if I'm jamming, see what I did there? Now you can also, if you're going to do that, if you have the comping of the C sharp 5, sharp 9, which is what that really is, when you go to that next chord, that next part of the voice leading, you can actually change the bass note to be what we call a tritone substitution, which is a tritone away from the dominant. So C is the dominant now, and we're going a tritone, which is 3 whole tones, 1, 2, 3, up, same as 1, 2, 3 down, it's just an octave difference, but keep that same comping. And now what you've really done is made it a G flat dominant 7 leading to the F minor 7. But because those leading tones are the same, it all still leads in the same direction. And now I'm going to use that same technique to go back really quickly to C minor. So what's the dominant of C minor? G, 7. So I'm going to take G and I'm going to take the 3, the sharp 5, the dominant 7, and the sharp 9, and use that same comping to go back to the C minor. Now see if you can catch where I do that here. See what I did there? I'm keeping it kind of simple for example purposes. Now, if we want to take it even further, when you go to the turnaround of footprints, which is F sharp, B, E, A, you can actually use that same exact comping on each of these. So that's the F sharp, it's the 3, the sharp 5, the dominant 7, the sharp 9. B, it's a 3, sharp 5, 7, sharp 9. E, which is 3, sharp 5, 7, sharp 9. To A, same thing. And then, you know, this is a Wayne Shorter tune. He made it very deceptive in that it actually ends on the A. The cadence ends by going from an A back to a C, which creates all these really cool possibilities for weaving lines from A dominant to C. Okay, so that's a comping technique using that major-minor scale, because on all of those, you can think about it as the major-minor superimposed on any, a half step above any of those given chords. That leading to the dominant below. So we're on F sharp, for example. We're looking at G major minor. So G 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2 minor 3, 4, 5 major 6, major 7, 1. Right? To that, to B, which starts on the C, to E, which starts on starts on the B flat. Okay, so, and also another little thing is like if you wanted to do that comping in your left hand, say that's C, you put that comping in your left hand. Oh yeah, super. So let's say you wanted to use the left hand to comp that. You do the to move to F from C. So we got C, the 3, sharp 5, 7, sharp 9. I would continue on top of that. If you want to think of it in C, put the flat 5, maybe the dominant 7 again, and the flat 9. That's a really big, lush, beautiful comping that you'll hear some great pianists use from time to time. To go to the next chord, so you have you're on F, you want to move to, you're on C, and you want to move to F. So you do, make sure you have that C in the bass, you have that comping in your left, and that comping in your right. And then you can go to any number of F voicings. And then to get back to C, you could even go like that, which is G in the bass, with that same exact comping, the 3, sharp 5, dominant 7, sharp 9, followed by the flat 5, dominant 7, and flat 9, to go back to C. So what that sounds like in context is like... something like that. You get the point. Okay, now let's just very briefly, I know this video is going too long, so let's just talk about a melodic line to use this major-minor technique. I'm going to give you one specific thing that I want you to do in all the keys. In fact, let's make this a new video. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, you gotta watch the next video to get the rest of this.